Hey, it's Pam Pryor, your first CFO. A little bit of a different tip for today, and it has to do with a really cool app that I want to show you guys. So this is the kind of thing that makes finance fun because it's an app, and apps are fun. But one of the questions I get a lot from people is, hey, should I be keeping track of my car mileage, or should I have the company buy my car? Or should I pay for, have the company reimburse me for gas and mechanics bills and that kind of thing, maintenance, tires, all that. And there are a couple of different answers to that, but for the most part, it really is best to either do a mileage rate for your personally owned car anytime you use it for business, and I'll explain that in a minute, or have the business buy your car. And the real answer to that question is going to vary client to client to client because it depends on, really how much driving you're doing, your family situation, and all sorts of other things. But the one I want to focus on is mileage. So the way this works is if you keep track of any time you're in your car for business, okay, and you're in your car for business, if you're going to meet somebody for lunch, and at lunch you're going to talk to them about your business, if you're going to strategize, if you're going to ask about who your next bookkeeper should be, if you're going to do anything with that friend related to business, the miles that you drive in your personal car to get to that friend are what's called deductible. And what that means is you can count them as expenses in your business, and your tax accountant, or when you do your own taxes, that'll be a deduction. In your own personal taxes, you can never take a deduction for anything you spend on your car, except I think maybe registration. You can take something, but only if you're above a certain floor in deductions, and it gets very complicated. But in business, it's really, really easy. And you can take the mileage rate right now, I'm looking online, is 53.5 cents per mile. So let's just say that you only drive, let's say 10 miles a day you drive to run errands for the business. You go to Office Depot to pick up supplies. You go to a client. You go to a lunch meeting. You go to a seminar. You drive, who knows where. But say it averages, 10 miles a day. That's 50 miles a week. And that 50 miles a week can turn very quickly into, okay, so I'm the CFO who doesn't do math in my head, but let's make it easy. And let's pretend that at 100 miles a week, you get $50 of tax deduction. So every 100 miles that you drive, you get $53.50 to deduct off of, to take as an expense in your business, and that will reduce your tax bill. And the really cool thing about that is there's really no direct cash that went out for that mileage rate. It's intended to cover things like gas and maintenance and all of that you do on your car over a year. But the important thing to know is that if you don't take that mileage rate, you're not getting any business deduction for when you use that car for business, and you should. So the easiest thing to do is to keep track of the mileage that you drive. Well, the first thing any entrepreneur is going to say is that's a pain in the neck, because it is. And I've tried doing it a bunch of different ways, keeping a log every day, typing it in a reminder or a note on my phone, looking at various apps that have come out. Well, one has come out that has stood the test of time with me. And so I figured that it was worth sharing because it's not annoying at all. You don't have to do anything special with it except once a month or once a week, do a little swiping on the phone. And the app is called MileIQ. And I know they have an iPhone version. I think they have an Android version, but I'm not 100% sure. But for anybody with an iPhone, if you've got a business, download this thing. And what it does, I'll show it to you in a minute on the camera. I think my camera is facing the right way so that you'll actually be able to read the app when I hold it up to the screen. Unfortunately, I can't do a screen share with it because I'm on my laptop. But what it does essentially, without it having to be on in the background, you just need to check to make sure that it's set so that it can use location services and it can use cellular data. But you don't have to leave it on and running. You just have to have those two things set on your phone. And every time you get in a car, I'll say this two different ways, but every time you get in a car and drive someplace, It marks where you left, and it marks to where you went. And then when you turn around and go back, it creates another record that marks where you were back to where you're going. No matter what, whether it's personal or business. And it keeps track of each of those in a very user-friendly way. And you literally go to your phone once a week or once a month or whatever and figure out which one of those rides were business. It brings up each ride individually, and you either swipe it to the left if it was personal or swipe it to the right if it was business. And it does all the rest. So that at the end of the year, all you got to do is run a report and get it. So I generally don't recommend apps, and I have no affiliate relationship with these people, so this isn't at all for any kind of commission. I'm just really excited about it because it's very rare that an app comes up that I like to use that I can say I know for sure all my clients would like to use it if they need to keep track of something. And this one I'm pretty sure all of my clients would like. So the app again is MileIQ, MileIQ, and it's on it's definitely on iPhone. I'm not positive about Android. I'll check on that and then leave it in the comments. But basically what it does, I'm going to hold this up to show you. There, I think you can see it. Every time you take a trip, it creates a record like this. And you then either swipe it to the right or swipe it to the left, and it moves on to the next one. Right? So today this is telling me I had a trip. Well, actually, it's telling me a few things. It's telling me, and it's hard for me to read it backwards, so I'm going to look at it periodically. But up there in the top left, it's telling me that I had 55 trips this month. That I've driven 1,308 miles. I think you can see that. And that I haven't yet swiped anything over to business, so that right now there's no dollars logged for business at this point. So we've got that. And then you see the most recent trip that I took. And you can see I went from Lower Makefield to Lower Makefield. And that's exactly what I did. I was just driving. It took a whole round trip. I left at 4:10. I got back at 4:43. This isn't as easy of a trip to look at, but they generally aren't like this. But then all I do is swipe. Oh, I'm sorry. I went from Upper Moreland Township to Lower Makefield Township. And since I know that's business, I'm just going to swipe that here to the right. And that's all I have to do. Then I look at this next trip, and I see that I went 24.6 miles. This is when I went to Upper Moreland Township. So that's business. So I'm going to swipe it to the right. And there's a little handy arrow up there that says personal or business. Personal go that way, and business go that way. So this was a business trip. I'm going to swipe it to the right. And there's the next trip I did, or the most recent trip I did, and it has the date on it. And that's literally all I have to do, is pull this phone out once a week and swipe to the right or left, or once a month even, and swipe to the right or left. I don't have to turn it on when I get in my car. I don't have to do anything else except make sure that location is on when I download the app, that location services are on for that app, and that cellular data is on for that app. And it is just the coolest thing since sliced bread, because whenever I get to the end of the month and go, oh crap, I forgot to keep track of my mileage, I remember I don't have to. All I have to do is go back into my phone and swipe away, left or right, depending on whether it's personal or business. The personal stuff it doesn't keep track of because it has no need to. You can't deduct that. But every business mile it keeps track of. Then it'll send you a weekly report or a monthly report if you want. Or at the end of the year, you don't even have to look at it till the end of the year. You print it, send it to your tax accountant, or use it to do your taxes, whichever you do. And it's all done. So, cool tip for the day, proving once again that finance can be fun. Say it with me. Finance can be fun. That from your first CFO. There's the book. There's the podcast called Cash Flow. Tons more tips and tricks to come for stuff that's useful to you as an entrepreneur. Thanks for tuning in. And please, please, please get MileIQ if you're an entrepreneur. Think about this. Every one of those dollars that you deduct is literally worth probably, I'm going to say, if you do $55 a week, you're going to be making back at least $15 to $20 on that in taxes. So that is so easy to do for free money out of your tax bill. Okay? Make sure you take me up on this one. PM me, comment if you want more information. If I've been so excited that I'm incoherent, comment and let me know. But this is a great app. Spread the word, spread the word. Have a great day. Bye-bye.